Welcome back after a long weekend. The markets were green today, and well, honestly, last week I said we may have actually bottomed. And now that everyone and the rest of the world is ready for a market crash, it's possible that we might actually see what I'm going to call the everything rally. So I'll be covering that this week. I am looking for a move higher, test some downtrends. Also, FFIE, I believe is the symbol. Obi-Wan identified a massive move that happened today on Sunday during a mod phone call. So that was really cool. So I'm going to touch on that chart too a little bit. Let's hop into the charts. Here you go, the daily charts of the big four: SPY, IWM, VIX, and AMC. Bukowski's website, thepatternsight.com, pulled up above me. It's a great resource. That's where I get most of my analysis. I mean, well, I also have a couple books and stuff, but whatever. These are quick updates. Let's go. So, SPY, this is a huge, is this a bullish engulfing? Is this a true bullish engulfing candle? This is nice. Look at the tail, big body, closing with a Marubozu, and this is good. This looks really good. You can see that the price even closed above, almost entirely above the trading range of this day. This is looking really good. I really like this. This does look like we have found a short-term bottom and will probably be heading higher. The RSI is still just hanging out at 44. The volume wasn't that high, so you know, it's like we're gonna need a little more strength here, a little more oomph to really get the reversal going, I think. IWM is making a similar move. The RSI is in a similar place. Volume was similarly low, and again, closing above 4 sessions ago. This is a good sign that the price is heading in the right direction, if you ask me. The volatility index, the fear index, VIX, forming almost a gravestone doji today. It was green on the day, which is kind of interesting. I think what's most important is to read into this really, really tall wick that the volatility dropped as the markets began to rally. So SPY covers S&P 500, IWM covers the Russell 2000. So this captures a lot of the broad market movements. I do cover the mega caps, the 10 biggest market caps in the US equities markets in my subscription, which I'm calling Capavision. And you can sign up for that down below. I think it's next to the subscribe button or below the like button. So go ahead, check that out. It's $2 a month. I provide a lot more charting than this. This is just little itty bitty daily updates. AMC today did have a big red day, touched down and bounced. This candle looks pretty bearish, doesn't it? The RSI dipping below 49. But is it that bearish? Is it that bearish? Now, whether or not I'm bearish or bullish on AMC, I'm going to leave it to Capavision. I'm just going to be trying to look at these daily updates really quick and leave most of that sort of long-term forecasting in the subscription content, because that's where the good stuff is. That's where I want the good stuff. These daily updates are going to be kind of cursory more than anything else. So moving into my flexible grid, I'm going to pull up AMC. This is a 15-minute chart, and I've been having a really hard time trying to figure out exactly what's going on. But I think more than anything else, what we found today was a complete retrace from wave 1 of a motive wave cycle. And wave 4 tends to do this. It tends to come down and test the top of wave 1. Here particularly, I had wave 1, 2, and 3 was a stellar push higher. And wave 4 starts to retrace that. And if the close is below the height, the top of that first wave, then it breaks the motive wave cycle and it's something else. So to see that we had a complete retrace and then a nice bump, a little bounce at the end of the day, this makes me optimistic that although we did have a very red candle on AMC, it looks like to me tomorrow is probably just going to be reversal and a push higher, and I think the markets are going to do that as well. Don't forget that we have FOMC meeting notes coming out, and that means we might have some rallying to do unless the news is really, really bad. I mean, the FOMC meeting notes, they're from weeks ago. So what really I think is important is what happens when Powell talks. I didn't look at the schedule. I don't know if and when Powell is talking. I'm sure he is. He seems to always talk with the FOMC meeting note release, like a little press conference deal. Anyway, I think if we do see Powell, that's going to rally markets, and the markets are in a fantastic place to start to rally. And I'm excited. I'm going to go over into, let's see, how about GameStop? Let's talk about GameStop. I haven't added in-depth analysis to GameStop yet. I'm going to be doing that in my subscription, Capavision, so if you want to know more about GameStop, you're going to have to go there. I was looking at the potential for a roof bottom here, and it looks like the price is actually broken out and is abandoning this pattern, which is actually pretty bearish, but that doesn't mean the price isn't necessarily going to dump. I still think that this looks like it's trying to bottom. In fact, a while ago, I was trying to find a diamond in this chart, And I'm just gonna, I mean, diamonds look weird. They're never even. They're never even. Yeah, see, this is probably a diamond in here. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing reverse and head higher. Honestly, it's in a good spot to do so, but I need to finish my Elliott waveform analysis to really get an idea of what's going on. This is pretty cursory, pretty preliminary, and I'll be updating this weekend. Maybe I'll spend 10 or 15 minutes in depth on GameStop at that time. Moving on to SPY. Tell me, what did the S&P do today? Well, the ETF at least formed a pretty nice pull back into whatever pattern we were forming before. You can see it gets hard to find chart patterns when you have these lows coming in at different heights. I mean, maybe the best way to express this at this point is to say, hey, maybe we have a level of horizontal support and resistance in here and we dip below it a couple of times and this low actually sets that. In which case, we're actually looking at a reverse triangle. This would be a right angled and ascending broadening formation, which is really good. It marks a corrective phase, and that is definitely due after that big push down. The purpose of these waveforms is to establish reversals or continuation. It's one of the two, and seeing this big push up, this makes me feel really bullish. I do not appreciate implied volatility dropping on the move higher, though I do like to see RSI reaching overbought. This to me signals that we could actually be seeing the beginning of a new motive wave, and we'll have to wait until tomorrow to really see if that's going to pan out or not. Moving into IWM. Let's pull this over a little bit. I've been waiting for IWM to reclaim a trend line, which it didn't do, but we did have this nice big push higher. And, you know, what's even cooler about IWM is that it's already closed above these last few peaks, which tells me that this could be a rectangle bottom. Yes, it makes a nice bear flag, and I acknowledge that. That makes a nice bear flag. But when you see the price dump down and then reverse, pull back, and then push above a level of horizontal support and resistance, which might even define that flag, this is a big deal. This is a big signal. I think that the markets are telling us that, hey, maybe things aren't as bad as you think they are, and maybe that's something I've been saying for a long time, and maybe it's social media's impact that has impacted consumer sentiment so much. Yes, and that's the kind of stuff I go into a little bit more in Capivision. This last week I actually was explaining why I think the inflation narrative is completely made up. It's not completely made up, but I think that the inflation narrative is misleading. Okay, so that was IWM, SPY, GameStop, AMC, VIX. It looks like the market's getting ready to go. Tomorrow's going to be a big day because we do have FOMC meeting notes coming out. I did say also, though, that I would check on FFIE really quick. Obi-Wan identified this, and it's worth looking at. Like, holy cow. Let me just zoom over here. Woo! Boom! So I'm thinking this might be a wave 1, 2, 3, pulling into 4, looking for 5, and if 5 extends, I mean, it's to the moon with this thing, right? This is nuts. Look at that volume increase, implied volatility. When people see these little spikes in AMC and they're like, MOAZ, is that MOAZ? Like, stop. This is what the beginning of MOAZ would look like if it were to occur. You would have just this incredible surge of volume, implied volatility going off the rails, and the price would be forming these beautiful motive waves. So on Sunday, when I was talking with my mods and Obi-Wan found this, I said I'd buy some calls in it, and then I didn't, and then the price rose, and you know what? I chose to sit it out because I'm not chasing it. If you miss the entry, miss the entry. That's what I've learned, and so I'm sitting this out. But I am really excited for Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan should just start his own channel. Like, I would love to be part of a community of peers. Like, I don't want to be the leader of some massive following, right? Like, I don't know. I would rather be part of a group of analysts all vlogging and all making their own moves and having a broad spectrum of analysis and different investing types. These daily updates are kind of geared towards day trading right now, not position and the buy and hold positions, and that's kind of what my Capivision is doing. I'm trying to draw that line there. Hey, daily updates are great for day trading, but if you want the good stuff, you want the beefy analysis, you want to find a 10 bagger, so to speak, you're gonna have to buy the subscription. It's $1.99. It's really nothing, and I mean, you know, it's a couple of fees for day. It's like relative to day trading fees. Like how many you can place 2 day trades, open and close, for the cost of the subscription. So I figured that'd be probably be a pretty good price point for my my followers. This is a lot of work. It's a ton of work, and it takes a lot of time, more than anything else. So anyway, I'm just gonna get off. It's about 10 minutes. That's where I like to keep these daily update videos. Happy trading.